Good morning. Oh, unable to record to the cloud. It looks like it's working. How are we all? Good. Alrighty. Okay, first thing I see when I open up my chart today is what we've got here. Oops, wrong one. Is what we have here with old XRP. Let's look at this on the 4 hour. Okay, 10 o'clock. So that for me, look, I didn't trade this. Just letting you know. To be honest, I was in bed at 9:30 last night, and I didn't. I wasn't there for the close of this candle. I was shattered. To be truthful, I was very tired yesterday. It was a very long. Well, it's felt like a long week. Put it that way. Anyway, look, I'll be straight. Even if I had been there, let me just work this through just to give you guys some clarity. The 2 hour. Well, the 2 hours divergence, I wouldn't have gone that time frame. The 4 hour at the time would have, look, it looks fine now. Like I mean, it's just ever so slightly. It's pretty much flat. I don't have an issue with it right there. If we were to zoom right in, I think you'll find that the orange is on a downward trajectory, as is the blue. So I don't have too many issues with that. I guess the one thing I would look at is this. The stop would have to be up here, right? Which isn't terrible. Let me just look at that on the daily. Yeah, look, it's hard to say. It's hard to say whether I would have taken it or not. My initial gut feel is that I wouldn't have. I just think that maybe, the stop being up here. There's something about it. I mean, there's 3 tests. As you guys know, I like to have a lower high in it. That doesn't mean that it's not going to work out. Don't get me wrong. I'm just trying to be, straight and honest to give analysis for anyone who may have taken this, because I was stalking this. There was just no way. There wasn't a hope in hell for me going to bed past 10 o'clock. I was out cold. It was lovely. Matt said I was looking at the 6 hour, but cancelled my order before I went to bed. Yeah, and that's the thing. The one of the issues that we have got is unless you wanted to wait until you got filled, you actually have to go and put your stop in, right? So, I'm just looking at this based on the trade itself, as opposed to anything else. Rachel got in this morning. Did it only just break, did it? Oh, shite. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Well, look, let's move to greener pastures, because there's a very real chance of cradles. Just got to wait and see what happens here. Nothing there yet, but actually, what am I doing? I'm just in the watch list. Let me go across and have a look at the top 10. That's where I'm meant to start. And it's all down. It's all red, but that's okay. Bit of activity in the last few hours, which is going to make me wipe that out. Get rid of that level. Let's have a look at this. Still not a great deal going on. The consolidation appears to be very much in motion, so it's going to be against Bitcoin that I might be looking for trades today. Nothing there across the rest. Let's go and have a look at margin pairs. All right. Sideways again. Sideways, pulling back on these dailies. That's what we're seeing at the moment. We'll retest it back on here on the 85, getting close to there again here. Now, the question needs to be asked, would I trade that? And if I go from the 4 to the 8, I mean, the answer's got to be no from my view, honestly. For the time being, I mean, there's definitely upward momentum. Sure, if it breaks down through there, you could call that a lower high, I suppose, or definitely on the 12. Look, I'm just going to I'm not going to put that in the watch list now, but I will be aware of that, right? It's nothing that stands out to me, but I'm not going to discount maybe a 1-to-1 or something like that off of a move like that, possibly even a hedge, Okay, nothing on Monero. IOTA. Well, it certainly tried, didn't it? 1, 2. I was watching this. This is the point at which I was watching. When we came down to here, as we got later, I went, no, I'm not watching this. I'm going to bed. But it was really trying to retest. It was very close. But it just didn't happen, Take that out. Dash is pulling back in. Let's have a look at this one. Okay, nothing there now. Probably have a good look at that again tomorrow. With XRP pulling back again, but no support there. Very much a pullback day at the moment, isn't it? No, it's having too quick. With these relatively abrupt moves lower and recent abrupt moves lower, so I'm just getting some coffee. Lovely stuff. Yeah, with those recent abrupt moves lower, I suspect there may not be a great deal available to us for the time being, but that's okay. Not interested in Bitcoin. Let's have a look at, and there's that Zcash. It's a bit of a bummer, isn't it? But anyway, can't dwell on things we can't play with. Well, that I can't play with anyway. Some people might have got a short on there. Not for me. Litecoin, Bitcoin. Look at that for a funky little candle. Not interested in that at all. Ethereum. No. Monero. Look at this. It looks like there could be a consolidation there. It's just a bit of a mess at the moment. And that's really quite common across the board at the moment, isn't it, really? I mean, it's I'm going to get rid of both those lines now. It's a little bit choppy after having what was an absolutely stellar run to the upside, and I can report that my wonderful apprentices have been doing very, very well, and I'm very happy to see it. It's amazing, a bit of work over a period of time, and they're all trading very, very well, and they have been for a long time now. It's just sometimes conditions don't permit big profits or big rewards. Well, they have done recently, and it's really cool to see. So those gentlemen that are in there, I know you're here. Well done, well done. More of the same. Don't get cocky, because it can be taken away just as quick as it's gone in. So yeah, it's really good to see. And one of the biggest things I think from that that I can give to everybody in this group now is the patient side of it. Learning to be patient. It's the most valuable thing. I'm going to get rid of that line too. That a trader can have, because it, during these times, like for example, today, for an example, no, it's been broken 50 many times. Days like today, we look at this and go, okay, well, there's not a great deal right now. There's not a great deal that I'm willing to be trading for the time being. Anyway, of course, that can change. It's the ability to be able to just go, okay, well, that's fine, because I don't need to trade. I'll just wait. And it's looking ever more likely that that's the sort of day it may be. That being said, I'm really keen to have a look against the Bitcoin pairs. I might do the whole lot today, actually. We'll just wait and see how we go time-wise. I'm in the office. I got really fast, super fast internet, and so far I've not seen anything of any interest at all. BSV is holding up, and there's all sorts of cryptic clues out there. Well, not all sorts. There's a cryptic clue from Lisa Edwards. Now, that is Craig Wright's sister. Lucky for her, she's got married and changed her surname. But she hinted at something more good news to come. So that's only a small person, like as far as influence, but she's very connected in that space. Now, I'm certainly not going to be trading based off of that, but just interesting to see if if the saga continues. I suppose is probably the best way to put that. And is there anything that I would look for a short here? I mean, no. Why did I even think about that? Silly boy. Silly boy. All right, let's jump into Binance. Binance is holding its ground here on this 4 hour. Lovely move here. Let's go lower. Let's see any flat levels there. Trying. Yeah, I just can't say. There's nothing good enough there for me yet. I am going to put them in the list though. Should that push on, then, you know, all sorts of opportunities, whether it be cradles, breakouts, I don't really care. I'll be happy to look at those. Now, if I don't see anything that's got an uptrend, we're just going to skip straight on, as we often do, because if I can get through this one, if there's not too much here as well, I'll also go and do the dollar tether pairings as well, because we can only go long here. Haven't, well, Link, I wonder if Link's had a bit of a pullback for us. You little ripper. Look at that puppy. All right, we're back in the right area now, aren't we? Ooh, yuck, don't like that one, but that's okay. If it can sell off and sit down here, I'd be happy. Let's have a look at that daily. What I don't want to do is I don't want to be buying into the end. I'm not concerned to buy a token as it's moving to new highs, not at all. I mean, I know this is not moving, but as it's pushed on. But one of the things that will stop me is divergence. We just don't have that. Link will stay in the list for that reason. I will continue to stalk that today. Did you buy it? No. Oh, we saw, I'm not sure if you took it or not, Adam, but yesterday you pointed out Walton, and we talked about it in the mentoring as well, about the higher risk associated with that particular position if one was to take it. It did move really well yesterday. So we'll get to that in a minute. None of these are any good. Now, I've got a question for everybody that's in here. Do you think that if it wasn't for access to these scans and knowing how frequently that there's not a lot to trade, do you think it's helped in holding you back from over trading? Do you think being in these scans has helped you from over trading? Oh, you didn't get it. Okay. I just curious to know if it's if that's something like, because that's one of the biggest things that you've got to overcome. Okay. In the beginning, it did. Now it backs up your thoughts. Definitely. Okay. Most people saying that it does help. And you know what? My trading is a lot better. Well, I wouldn't say a lot better. My trading sits in a position where it's very consistent, but I do make mistakes too. You know, I do cock up. I do. Sometimes I'll overtrade, very rarely. Other times I'll do different things. You know, I'll just stuff up. I'll just make mistakes. Because I'm doing it with you guys, it really, really keeps me accountable. I love it. You know, like as the business grows and as I become as I need to do less of the every single day, every single thing tasks, I'd never take myself out of the scan. I mean, there might be a time I'm traveling, I might get one of the guys to do a scan for me because I'm on a plane or something. But you know, the scan and the podcast each day, and you know, being available, man, that is my anchor. That's my routine. You know, it makes a big difference. Good move there on Made Safe. Listening to your tears made me more patient. Good. That's the and that's, you know, it's often, you know, these sorts of things that you don't know what you're going to get out of them until you get into them, if that makes sense. Oh, Walton's pulled back pretty quick. It pushed through pretty heavily, so pretty well. Oh, I see. You didn't get that. Yeah, you didn't get that one there. For me, it was too much risk anyway. I guess a 2 hour, it was a bit messy anyway, wasn't it? For me, the scans are the most valuable part. Just hearing you talk through your thinking behind taking yeah. That's the idea, Dave. I'm stoked that you guys are getting what I was hoping that you would. I should have asked this a long time ago, but you know. Thank you, Mr. K. Appreciate that, and appreciate all of it, guys. I was just very interested as to who gets what different things from it, because we've got a good number of people in here, but it you know, for the amount of people that we've had come through and do the courses and whatnot, I mean, even just to do it for a month or two, just to get used to how the scan's done, it's just so valuable. But you know, it's also not cheap. I get that, but it's definitely a helper. Elastos big move, but nothing. Again, we've just got no uptrends here, really, guys. Apart from Link, it's pretty straightforward thus far. Let's keep pushing on, and then we'll get to I will do the dollar tether pairings as well. So we'll do the whole shebang. Nothing really there, is there? I shall have a look at that, Mr. Roth. Let me jump through these ones. I'll get back up to Bitcoin, and then I'll have a look at that one. I don't know if that's in my list, to be honest with you. Maybe that's why I haven't seen it before. Oh, hang on, what's that? Not fun. Whoa. Yeah, I'm not convinced enough there. Oh, myth. What's this meta? Now I don't like the way that's sitting currently on the daily. We've still got we've still got a lot of these that have very high probability of setting that higher high, so reversing that trend. Bytes just continues to slide against Bitcoin. Nexus. I had a word about this yesterday. We just didn't have a good level. It looked like it solidified a little bit better, but it didn't really. It was close though, wasn't it? Either way, it's not anything there now. Yeah, that's right. It kept on going, didn't it? Oh, let me just take these out. Now the question has to be asked, would I trade it from here? And my answer is no. Now here is why my answer is no. I talk about cyclicity a lot, okay? If we know from this point to this point, we pull back to a fib point, 61.8. Makes sense, beautiful. Then it moved on. Now I think we'll see something similar if I go from this point to this point as well. Yep, back into that 61, and then we moved. And I'm not saying that these are tradable opportunities, either of these. Not at all. That's not the objective. That's not the point. But if I take it from the last lower low to higher high, sorry, higher low to higher high, it's pulled all the way back in, way beyond 61.8. So for me, as much as it could go, I don't feel comfortable taking something with such a deep pullback. It just doesn't look quite as good to me, and I would be happy. Yeah, I'm happy to nothing that. I will not be watching that for today. Brad, nothing there. Edu, Tex, and we make a Bitcoin. Okay, GVT BTC. Genesis. The big old den dog. Okay, I can see what you're looking at here. Let's start with the daily. I just want to zoom out and see if there's any support or anything around those areas. Appears to not be, but that's okay, it doesn't matter. Because we have got a higher low to a higher high. It's had a good move today. Where we're at now, 15%. Geez, it must have been up about 40 or so at one point. Let's go to the 2. Ooh, bit much going on at the minute. I tell you what, I will pop that in and keep an eye on that, because for me, Peter, and everyone else for that matter, it's got to slow up a little bit. I don't mind this big spike up. I just don't want to be trading it with these big candles. I want to see something nice and tidy in here. I want to see it go. Do you know what I mean? I want it to relax. I want it to chill out a bit. And once it's done that, if it does give that little green candle, then I might consider something around that. But for this moment now, I'm a no. I'm a no-go. Still getting used to this stable coin. There it is. Alrighty. Oh, we've done that one. Oh no, back up to tether. What? I got 2 different charts here. Oh, there we go. That was a bit weird. Having a bit confused. It's not hard to confuse me. Okay. Flat MACD. It might be divergent as we go, and it's still flat there. Geez, it's strong, isn't it? I guess the only issue I've got is, where would I get an entry? What's my entry going to be? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be higher. It's not going to be the 4 hour at the moment. It pulls back in. I mean, $30 would be ideal, wouldn't it? Back in at 30. I wouldn't take it on a 2 all over the shop. 1 hour, no, there's no flat level. So it's just going to have to stay in the list. There's nothing really there, to be honest. That's tradable at the minute, and they've got to just wait for it. So we're going to do a quick little scoot through here, see if we've got anything worthy. Nothing there. Now, many of these, as I said, you know, like these big Bitcoin Paxos and there's a couple. I still haven't cleaned it up. I am sorry. I don't mean that. I'm a bit busy at the moment, hence why I had to go to bed so early. I'm so tired. Nothing there. Fetch. Bit deep for those ones. If anything, it'd be the daily, but it's not the best daily trend with defined higher lows. I'm just going to pop, I know we've got it on the other one, but reference point. There's our Binance again. Yeah, we'll sort of see that. Still grinding lower too. Jeez, it's got because it's against packs and all that sort of stuff. Ooh, this little puppy's been the talk of the town for a while. We might get a little sexy little close. Matic. Now I know it's had a very strong run, like a mega strong run, right? Let's just do this on the weekly. 280%. Geez, that's a she's a mover. She's a mover. I am going to pop that in the list. Small little bullish candle there. I mean, it's going to be hard to argue with it. It has had a big move. This is the first proper pull. I mean, it had a good pullback here, no trade. First, another pullback here, no trade. On the 4 hour, what do we see? Beautiful pullback. Jeez, that was cracking. Big couple 100% move from there too. Look, I'm just going to keep an eye on it. That's all I can really say at this stage. It's not set yet, but it's getting closer. There's no leverage on it either. Seller. Matic. Oh, hang on. Against Tether. I'll have a look at it against Bitcoin. You're right. I haven't got that on the other list. I will have a look at that. What do we got here with Seller Network? No. Oh, we looked at it before. It's only on the daily. Dash, no. Monero, no. Many of these higher market cap ones are not going to look real great because we've already looked at them. It's the smaller ones I'm sort of seeing if there's anything available. Engine had another little shot up and pull back. Zilliqa, although it's starting to move, it's not a favorite, put it that way. Yuck. Holo. That's got to go on the list. So nice little run. That's a nice pullback. I have to wait though. It's got to be a patience play, which is fine. I don't mind it when you got to wait a little while because you let the market decide. You know, I don't want to make the decision now. I want the market to make the decision. Again, there's that pullback. Don't want that. Ripple, no, or XRP. We looked at those. We've looked at no. Hang on, what have we got here? No, daily maybe, but nothing more. Link. We're already keeping an eye on that against Bitcoin. Just a wonderful trend. This is the sort of stuff that we love. Bit big on the candles. I'm going to pop that in the list. I'm happy to keep an eye on that. Look, it might not be until tomorrow or something, but you know, if it's there, it's there, right? Yes. Sorry, I'm very sorry. I was asked to upload these watch lists a little while ago, and I just forgot. Sorry. Let me write that down so I cannot forget today. Hang on. Upload watch lists. Okay, sorry about that. That was my mistake. I do recall that. I'm a pretty disciplined person as long as it's written down. That's what I tell my staff. You know, if you want me, if you need me, if there's a meeting, put it in the calendar because if it's not in the calendar, it doesn't exist. It's as simple as that for me. I'm sort of doubling up on many of these. I will clean this up. I've just got to chain link. I think we already had that in, yeah, up there. That's fine. We don't want the other one. Nothing there. It's just a different version, so different stablecoin crosses. Okay, cool. So let's go back and have a look. We did a whole lot today. Managed to smash that in half an hour. XBT down 2.95%. Be interesting to see what happens today, but nothing really trading-wise going on there. XRP BTC, and I will come back and have a look at Matic Bitcoin, by the way. Ignore Matic Bitcoin, okay. I will have a look at it anyway because I'm curious. The breakdown has occurred. I'm happy to wait and see if I can get a cradle in there, so that's why it's staying in the list. Link, waiting for it to pull back and give me a trade effectively. I want to see it come in deeper. I'll be happy to trade that. Binance, waiting for the, probably it needs to pull back a little bit more to give that trade. Binance, again, I'd like to see it push away and come back or pull back in a bit deeper. GVT, Genesis Vision, I think this was the 8th, no, sorry. Yeah, I wanted to wait for that to slow down, that's right. Matic, here it is, here against Tether. This is probably the best as far as potential setup coming up. This will close at 10. It needs to close a bit higher in my eyes, and if it does, then I will probably take a little stab at it. That was the big Binance one, right? Yep, that's the one I want. Hulu, back in that cradle zone. Again, in a good spot there. I may look at that. Again, it just means I've got to move into some Tether. But, you know, that's not a bad thing. I don't mind doing that if there's a good trade there. And finally, Link, again, pulling back in. Just got to wait. Oh, no. I think it's just you, James. And I think BTC. Oh, yeah. That was a big day yesterday. Geez, it looks like it's selling off a bit. Yeah, look, it is a bit of a big candle. I'm happy to probably, is there a flat level lower perhaps? Look, I am going to pop that in there. I want to keep an eye on that. If it gives a flat level, I'll be happy to do that. If I can get a tighter stop than what's on the 8 hour, I might consider that. But it is quite a large candle at the minute, and it has come off an awful long way. Like it's halved basically. You know, look at the high of that. 573 and we're at 295, so not far off a complete 100%, you know, 50% pullback from the highs. That's okay. Actually, what, you know, we're looking at. Yeah, look, I'm going to keep an eye on that, but it's not one that's probably likely right away. So, guys, that's the watch list for the day. And yes, I will. I've got it in my podcast now. Then I've got a little meeting to jump into. But Matt, I will get that into the VIP section. I will put all the lists in there, so that you can just download them and you can be working from the same one each day. Take it easy, guys. Have a good day. Be patient. That's probably the main thing at the moment. Stay patient. We've got plenty more to come, and hopefully you did well on that last run. Cheers. Speak to you tomorrow.